Hi, my name is Josh Cleland, and I'm an illustrator. I work out of my home studio in Hillsboro, Oregon, which is just outside of Portland. So I graduated in 2002 from Oregon State University in graphic design. And so I used all those schools or all those skills mostly when doing design work. But for illustration work, mostly self-taught. I've always wanted to be an illustrator, even before I became a graphic designer. So pretty much self-taught. So I'm going to go way back on this one. There's been many resources that have really inspired me throughout the years, but the thing that I can remember from my earliest days was this book, Drawing and Selling Cartoons by Randy Glasbergen. This was published in 1993, I believe. And I think this is the first time I realized, even as a 13, 14-year-old kid, that there was a business side to illustration and cartooning and things like that. And so that really kind of instilled in me that not only do I need to hone my artistic craft over the years, but also really learn business practices, which still doesn't come easy to me to this day. But this is kind of really what got me in that framework, in that frame of mind. The first person that came to mind was actually my fifth grade teacher, Mrs. Phillips. At the time I was always doodling characters and like the Simpsons characters and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters on the margins of my school papers. And instead of getting in trouble, she actually encouraged me to keep drawing, which was pretty cool. I would say an early bird. I usually start pretty early. So my favorite movie when I was a kid was probably Jurassic Park. Favorite movie now? Jurassic Park. So I've actually been working as a graphic designer ever since 2006, I believe. But I went on my own in 2009. I started my own graphic design business, but I slowly transitioned into full-time illustration. Around 2015, 2016, I've been doing mostly illustration for like children's books and greeting cards and things like that. When I'm working, I love listening to soundtracks, whether it's movie soundtracks or TV soundtracks, probably because there's a storytelling aspect to it, but I've always been drawn to soundtracks. Mostly I have something playing usually when I'm working. I'll either have music playing, or I actually will sometimes, or a lot of times actually, throw on old episodes of like The Office or Parks and Rec or Schitt's Creek or things like that. And, things that I've watched like a million times, so I don't get sucked in too much into it. In fact, a little productivity trick. Sometimes I'll play an episode of The Office. When it's done, I'll get up, walk around. It's kind of my own version of the Pomodoro technique. And these days I work mostly on children's books, greeting cards, games, things like that, mostly for the children's market. But I also just recently started doing course creation as well, creating online courses for things like children's books and character design and things like that. These days, mostly digital. Kind of sadly, actually. I kind of miss, I used to be much more analog. In fact, when I first started illustration, it was almost completely analog, watercolor, gouache, things like that, with maybe a little bit of cleanup work in Photoshop as I was learning Photoshop. But these days, maybe for the last 10, 15 years, almost completely digital. I used to do most of my sketches analog, but nowadays it's almost everything digital. So just for speed. Jurassic Park. I think these days the things that inspire me are nature, like trees and also animals. I love drawing animals. They're uncomplicated these days. Yeah, things like that. Things that are just silly and fun and very low key, non-serious. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be either a comic or a cartoonist, like a comic book strip artist, or a children's book illustrator. But I always found myself wanting to be like the next Charles Schultz or Bill Watterson, like Calvin and Hobbes, or Peanuts, like Charlie Brown, things like that. So that's kind of what I've always wanted to do.